Karen returned a belt for poor quality. Staff showed the tier was her fault. What would you do if someone tried to scam you right to your face? In the heart of a quaint boutique called Thread and Charm, Karen strutted in with a leather belt dangling from her hand, its stitching torn like a wound. She slammed it on the counter, her voice slicing through the hum of the store. This is garbage. Poor quality. I demand a full refund. Her eyes glinted with the kind of confidence that dared anyone to challenge her. The staff froze. Customers turned. The air grew thick with anticipation. Karen, with her perfectly pressed blouse and manicured nails, seemed untouchably a queen of complaints, ready to claim her victory. But this wasn't her first rodeo, and the staff knew it. The boutique's manager, Mia, a woman with a knack for reading people, stepped forward. Her smile was polite but sharp, like a blade hidden in velvet. "Let's take a look, ma'am," she said, picking up the belt. The tear was brutal, not the kind that comes from wear but from deliberate force. Mia's fingers traced the frayed edges, her mind racing. Karen had been here before twice, in fact. Once with a stained dress that reeked of red wine, and another time with a defective purse that had suspiciously slashed straps. Each time, she'd walked away with a refund, leaving the staff seething. But not today. Mia glanced at the security camera tucked above the counter, its red light blinking like a silent witness. "Can you tell me how this happened?" she asked, her tone calm but probing. Karen scoffed, tossing her hair. "It just fell apart. Shoddy craftsmanship, that's what. I barely wore it." Her voice rose, drawing more eyes. She leaned in, her words dripping with venom. "You people should be ashamed, selling junk like this." The accusation stung, especially for Mia, who'd poured her heart into curating every item in the store. Thread and Charm wasn't just a business. It was her dream, built from years of saving and sacrifice. Karen's words felt like a personal attack, but Mia held her ground. She turned to her coworker, Jake, a lanky college kid who'd been quietly restocking shelves. "Jake, can you pull up the footage from yesterday?" she asked, her voice steady. Jake nodded, slipping into the back room. Karen's smirk faltered, just for a second, but she doubled down. "Footage? What, you don't trust your customers now?" she snapped, folding her arms. The crowd murmured, some nodding in sympathy, others skeptical. A woman in a green scarf, clutching a shopping bag, whispered to her friend, "She's laying it on thick." Mia ignored the noise, her eyes locked on Karen. She knew the truth was close, and she wasn't about to let this slide. Jake returned, setting a tablet on the counter. The screen flickered to life, showing grainy but clear footage from the previous day. There was Karen browsing the belt rack, her movements jerky. She picked up the belt, looped it around her waist, then without warning yanked it hard, her hands twisting until the stitching popped. The crowd gasped. Karen's face drained of color. "That's not me," she sputtered, but the timestamp and her distinctive red coat betrayed her. Mia's voice cut through the chaos. "You tore it yourself, ma'am. This isn't poor quality, it's vandalism." The store erupted. Customers whispered, some pulling out phones to record. Karen's bravado cracked, her voice shrill. "This is outrageous. I'll sue. I'll ruin this place." She grabbed her purse, ready to storm out, but Mia wasn't done. "We're pressing charges," she said, her tone icy. "And we're banning you from the store." Karen froze, her eyes darting to the crowd, searching for allies. But the woman in the green scarf stepped forward, her voice loud and clear. "I saw her last week at another shop, pulling the same stunt with a scarf. She's a serial scammer." The revelation hit like a thunderbolt, shifting the room's energy. Karen wasn't just a complainer, she was a predator, preying on small businesses. The confrontation reached its peak as Mia called the police. Karen's threats grew desperate, her voice cracking. "You can't prove anything. I'll have your jobs." But the evidence was undeniable. Jake replayed the footage, zooming in on Karen's hands ripping the belt. The crowd's murmurs turned to boos. Karen's facade crumbled, her shoulders slumping as reality sank in. She'd been caught, exposed in front of strangers who now saw her for what she was. The woman in the green scarf shook her head, muttering, "Karma's real." Mia stayed calm, but inside, she felt a surge of triumph. This wasn't just about a $50 belt, it was about justice. As the police arrived, Karen's defiance gave way to panic. She stammered excuses, but the officers weren't swayed. They escorted her out, her head bowed, the crowd parting like a sea. The belt lay on the counter, a symbol of her downfall. Mia picked it up, her hand steady now. She looked at Jake, who gave her a small nod, and then at the customers, some of whom clapped softly. The woman in the green scarf lingered, introducing herself as Sarah, a local blogger. "I'm writing about this," she said. "People need to know." Mia smiled, grateful for the unexpected ally. The store settled back into its rhythm, but the energy was different, lighter, almost victorious. Mia hung the torn belt behind the counter, a quiet reminder of the day they fought back. She thought of her late mother, who'd taught her to stand up to bullies, and felt a pang of pride. Thread and Charm would survive, maybe even thrive, because of this. Sarah's blog post went viral, bringing in new customers who admired Mia's courage. The boutique became a local legend, a place where truth won. What's the line between a fair complaint and a scam? Karen thought she could bully her way to a win, but she underestimated the power of truth and a well-placed camera. Her fall wasn't just a spectacle. It was a lesson. Stand up, speak out, and don't let the Karens of the world tear you down. What do you think? Was Mia right to call her out publicly? Share your thoughts below.